A lot of people seem to be confused with the new route, the BBBH, but I will explain everything in detail. And hopefully because of this I'll get rid of some confusion. So one thing to note for this route is that after Rubber Dub, you want to do SD102 and then Rubber Dub 2. The reason why you want to do it now and not after Nado and Men is because you would have to wait for another clam animation in Nado and Men, so you'd lose time, and you also need 1500 manliness points for this section to slam one of these enemies. So yes, it does add a load, however you skip a load later on, so it pretty much negates that. So basically, this trick saves 30 seconds on Xbox, PS2 and GameCube. Another thing to note is that you have to do BBBH slide jumps. If you don't do them, you can't do this route. So what you're going to do in this current route is that after Rubber Dub 2, you're going to do the slide jumps, you're going to kill all the enemies, and then you're going to get this token and carry on. This will just give you enough tokens to finish Planktopos with 40, and then you can warp all the way back. So this is where it becomes a bit more complicated, because a lot of tech is used in this section. The first thing you want to do is warp to BBBH Guitar, and do the Guitar Challenge of SpongeBob. After you've completed this challenge and you get the token, you want to do something called Guitar Warp. Guitar Warp is storing the text box and the message it gives you for starting the Guitar Challenge, and using it in a different place. So what we want to do for this trick is to bowl off of this platform and press R before you do. It'll look like this. When you do, the text will be here. You want to press B, and as you can see, the text is still here. When you use Patrick, this text box will come up, and you might be confused, but you just press B and cancel it. You will get the cutscene for this, and you'll spawn about by here, but just don't mind that. I should also mention that I compared the timing to a throwing fruit that isn't that fast, and you can't do a 1 frame token in this. So for a really good player, this route would save about 20 seconds rather than 30. However, that's still comparing it to Disco Skip First Try. So this trick is quite finicky and it might be confusing at first. You might be thinking that you can't get up here because you can't break it underneath. That isn't the case. What you want to do is ledge grab, and then you'll press R or whatever button it is to activate the text box, and then you want to press A 3 times. Just like this. After this, you want to mash A as fast as you can. If you're lucky, you'll make it up here, but sometimes you might be stuck like this. What you want to do in this situation is use the slam button. So this will lose you a little bit of time, however it's only a few seconds. But if you're lucky, then you'll make it up to about here with no problems. So now you want to get the warp for SpongeBob. You want to cartwheel to about here, and then it'll appear in the menu, and we'll warp to it later. So you want to go back by here and continue doing it backwards. So this is where it becomes a little more confusing as well. You don't unlock the task unless you go really far out, and the text will appear by here telling you. In this case, you want a guitar warp again, so press R, press A 3 times. So now you might be confused again, right? But this is where some more tech gets used. So for this now, you want to warp back to SpongeBob, the text will appear, you just press B. And then you want to kill yourself in this water. If you've done this correctly, you will spawn about here as SpongeBob. Now this part is crucial. You need to stand around here to get the token. This is important because after you've completed this challenge that I'm about to do, it'll spawn you about by here, but the token will appear for a second by here. So you have to stand by here to get the token and then warp there. So for this, you want to hit the buttons as so. You can hit them with guitar. This is one of the reasons why the route is fast, is because you can skip this entire section. It's also fast because you skip disco. If you've done it correctly, the token will spawn by here, and you will be warped up to here, but I already have the token, so I didn't get spawned up there. If you haven't done it correctly and you spawn up there and don't get the token, you simply just want to jump down, get the token, and then jump back up. And you can do it like this. But you will have to do some 2 frames, which can be quite difficult. But I'm just proving that you can do it. So if you have done everything correctly, you'll spawn about by here. All you want to do is just walk along this path, and none of these electric things will spawn. So simply just follow the path that I'm taking. These enemies can knock you off, and if they do, you'll spawn all the way back by there, but you only lose about like 15 seconds, so it still isn't the end of your run. Now this can be a little bit tricky, but you just want to walk as long as you can and then do a double jump spin. This is harder to make if your spin isn't upgraded, but you still can make it. And if you do miss it, then you do lose a lot of time. but as long as you're minus before going into this segment, it shouldn't kill your run. So this may seem slow, but it actually is surprisingly fast. Sure, you don't do this part as Patrick, but SpongeBob can walk around here just fine. And this is the final reason why this route is pretty fast. For this token, all you want to do is stand about by here and press R, and you simply just get the token like this. You can't do this as Patrick, and that's why you can't do this segment and part as Patrick, otherwise that would save a lot of time. So what you want to do after this is just walk to SpongeBall, and then when you finish with SpongeBall, walk back to SCDA to continue with your route. So hopefully that did clear some things up. Like I said, if you're really good, is save about 20 seconds, if you do the 1 frame currently in the route. But otherwise, it'll save about 30. But there is something else to point out. In SCDA, you need to do toilet skip. And the reason why is because otherwise the Murmur will spawn and you don't have enough manliness points to upgrade the throw at that point, so you have to kill the Murmur. So if you do that, then it'll save about 20 seconds instead of 30. But if you do toilet skip, it should save around 30 roughly. So hopefully this tutorial helped out a little bit, because I know that it was hard to understand it from the old VOD. And I hope to see that people will incorporate this, because it's really cool and it makes this game look even better.